Hello, welcome everyone, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the seventh episode of this talk show powered by Double Bluff Esports. Today is a special one because I am joined by two guests, Kloud and Arminovic from Kanji Esports. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thanks for having
Thank
us.
you. Thanks for having
Yeah,
us. Yeah.
thanks for coming. Uh, First of all, the classic question for those interviews. Did you bring a drink to this? And what is it?
Well, I got me some coffee
Hmm.
Yeah, I got
because
cold brewed tea.
Okay, I have my trusty black coffee as well, so it looks like we're all set. So first of all, could you introduce yourselves, like some basic info, like who are you, how old are you, what's your scholar career as well? That can be pretty interesting. You
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 want to
choose
start, Cloud?
you choose who goes
yeah.
ahead.
All right. My name is Kloud. I'm from Switzerland. I'm 32 years old. Yeah, I'm pretty old. I don't look like it, but it is like that. Uh, I'm the founder of Kanji Esports. I'm living in Zurich in Switzerland, and yeah.
Yeah, hi, my name is Arminovic, also known as Armin. I am 22 years old and from Germany, Frankfurt. My position at Kanji is basically head of broadcast. So everything that you see on the broadcast is most likely agreed with me or made by me. And I'm also the manager of the academy team. And about my um, scholar. I am studying or I'm about to finish my studies as media communication bachelor.
Okay,
Oh
that's
yeah, I
interesting.
forgot. I'm working as a graphician in a company in Switzerland and also doing the artworks for Kanji and everything.
Okay, so this question is mainly for you, Claude.
Hmm.
How did you discover the esports scene, and what made you want to make your mark in it by creating your own structure?
It started a long time ago. I was by my own a competitive player in CS.
Hmm.
Like many years ago. Yeah, but I always liked esports and the competitive scene, playing or also managing stuff. And some years ago, I started as a graphician in Zurich Esports. It was a Swiss esports organization, but mainly based in Fortnite. And after that, they told me to create a League of Legends team at Zurich Esports. But the owner decided to quit esports, and so I became mainly the owner of Zurich Esports together with my brother. After that, my brother and I decided to create a new organization called Seven Blades Esports. And yeah, we run it for 2 years. And after that, we decided to rebrand into Kanji Esports. Uh, what I mainly like in esports is, yeah, the adrenaline, the rush, and also the competitive playing, working together with other players and with teams. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's just cool. I just like it. I don't know. I can't really describe it why it's yeah, it's just a beautiful thing.
Okay, and why were you chosen to start with a League of Legends lineup? Like, were you familiar with the game, or is it just something that dawned upon you?
Yeah, I'm also playing League of Legends, but not in such a high level. But I really like the game, and yeah, I find that the game is likely or most likely one of the biggest competitive games in the scene, and it is really interesting. I like the tactic thing. I like playing or watching how the team improves with the game, and yeah, and that's why actually.
Okay, and what about you, Arminovic? How did you get into the scene? How did you fall into that rabbit hole?
So it all started, I think, like 2013, when some of my friends came around and were like, "Hey, there's a new game." League of Legends wasn't new at the time, but like a new game for us to discover. Um, and yeah, they dragged me into League of Legends. My first champion I ever played was Quinn. I wasn't good at it. I'm not good at it today either, but it doesn't matter. And mainly right now, I'm a caster in League of Legends, right? I'm a play-by-play caster. And how I got into that position is back then when we played like FIFA with friends, I always liked to like sit in the back and commentate and make some jokes about what's going on in the game. And at some point, I think like maybe 2 years ago, um, I thought, why don't you try to be a commentator in League of Legends? Because you know the game well, you like to like produce hype and talk about what's happening in the game. So I first off started with V Sports. It's a esports club from Würzburg in Germany.
Mhm.
And yeah, step by step, came to the Streamcast network, started some like training there. And in the end, I asked Kloud like 3 or 4 times back then last year in like October or November if they need a caster for Seven Blades back then. And he said, yeah, like come around, cast our games. And since then, I casted a few times for them as playoff finals as well. And he came to me and was like, hey, we're going to rebrand to Kanji. Would you like to be the head of broadcast for us? And that's how I ended up in what's Kanji Esports today.
Okay. So as you mentioned, you rebranded from Seven Blades to Kanji Esports, and I believe that was more or less at the same time you promoted for the first time in Division 3 Prime League, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Could you give us a rundown of why and how did this happen?
Um, well, the thing is, basically, we started Seven Blades Esports with the idea to have 7 esports titles in the organization,
Hmm.
like 7 games. Um, and as I am a graphician and also I was building it up with my brother since then, Seven Blades Esports, it was like I wasn't happy anymore with the name, with the branding and itself. We tried to rebrand a little bit at Seven Blades Esports, but I wasn't really happy. It was like, yeah, I wanted something new. I wanted something we can really identify with it. Um, and yeah, basically that's why. And it was the perfect timing for the new season. We promoted and to rebrand it
Okay. And where did the inspiration come from?
from Kanji.
Yeah.
Um, well, basically, Kanji is yeah, a Japanese font type
Hmm.
or language type or writing type. I don't know, calligraphy type. Um, but it also means respect, and also the Japanese samurai theme or scene also means respect and honor. And that's basically also what we like to have at Kanji, to have respect and honor together. And I just like the style. Um, and yeah, it's kind of unique sometimes because a lot of other esports organizations are a little bit the same, have a little bit the same style and look a little bit like the same. And for us, it was we wanted to do something special, like always. Also with the artworks, we want to yeah be more special.
Okay. And so as you said, there's a wide array of games that you compete into. Like at first in Seven Blades, but now in Kanji as well.
Hmm.
How hard is it for you to delegate a lot of the management and compete in games that you are maybe not so familiar with?
The good thing is, in League of Legends, we got Arminovic as the manager for the academy team, and for the main team, we have Cass. He's also the co-owner and founder of Kanji, and he also managing everything there. And for our Valorant team and for our Rainbow Six team, basically they manage themselves, and they are doing it really well. So we are in contact every day. We are asking them, hey, what can we do for you? What can we post? What are the next tournaments or results and stuff like that? So we don't need to do a lot there. So we can really focus on League of Legends for with our managers.
Okay, and Arminovic, how hard is it to produce and approve content in games that you maybe aren't familiar with? Because
Good thing
I'm
is,
not
yeah.
sure you
Or-
play all of those games.
League of Legends, I play luckily. You have to most likely play it to be able to commentate on it,
Yeah,
to
definitely.
cast it. Good thing about this for now is that we are not allowed to have a production on Valorant because of the league system. So we cannot have like a cast in Valorant. The only thing that might be allowed is that the players stream themselves, but for now there's no Valorant stream planned. And same goes for Rainbow Six, since they're playing in the first league. The league streams the games themselves, so we're also not allowed to have a production in this game. So for now, I'm quite happy that I only have to manage League of Legends, and I know the terrain I'm in. But we also had like talks for new games and stuff, and I also went through the thinking process what would happen if we will have to cast this game. And it's basically like get yourself someone from the team or maybe the manager who knows a lot of the game, have like a 2 hour talk with him. He is supposed to explain you everything that's going on in the game, so you get a basic concept of the game. Maybe watch a few streams from professionals, professional productions in the game, so you get the whole idea of the game and the casts and everything around it. And then from there on, you basically have to design what shall be a stream later on. Yeah. But
Okay.
for now, luckily, it hasn't
It's
been the case yet.
only League of
Yeah.
Legends so far.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, given the history of the team and stuff, what would you say were the hardest points for you both, like as a staff, and the fondest memories in the organization?
Um, I would say the hardest parts are always when you need to structure a new team. It can really be delayed. It can really be annoying sometimes because you always want to do something right, but in the end, yeah, it's pretty hard when you need to structure a new team. I would say this is or was one of the hardest part when we um, built up a complete new team. But the funniest part, um, I would say for me, was when we promoted to Division 3
Mm-hmm.
because I was literally crying in the stream and I couldn't bring out a word or a normal word because I was really crying. But it was not only a funny part, it was also a really amazing part because we built up everything for 2 years. We played in Division 4 for like 7 or 8 splits, I don't know. And we were every time in the playoffs, but didn't reach Division 3. And yeah, but that was really funny.
Yeah, that's one of the great parts of esports. It brings a lot of emotion with it. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's really
Yeah, that's
nice.
also why I really love esports and doing this stuff. It can be really emotional. It can be hard, but it gives you back a lot sometimes.
How about you, Arminovic?
Yeah, for me, the hardest moment, I don't have a specific one to pick, but I would also go with Cloud, like building the roster or also being the asshole that has to tell people, okay, no, we're not taking you. You're not considered as an option for us anymore. it's like always a little heartbreak. Even if you like the person, sometimes you gotta just think of the organization and its success, and you need to be the asshole that says, "No, you're out. I'm sorry." So that's a part that I personally hate, but you kind of get used to being an asshole and doing this part. But I still don't like it that much. But for my best or happiest moments, I would pick three of them. First of all, in general, most likely the academy team itself, having the communication with them, and like also, even though it is supposed to be like serious, there's also a fun part with it, and I really like the communication and the enthusiasm, the whole thing we have as the academy team together. It's like makes you happy play with them because they're all great personalities. So that's one thing overall I would like to point out. And as specific moments, I would say at one part when the academy team reached Division 4 from Division 5 playoffs in the lower bracket final game, best of three. We had to win it, and they made it, and that was a moment I was really happy after such a long split and putting so much investment in them. And the other part would be actually when we promoted to Division 3 with the main team. I was casting the final game, and being able to cast a final for Division 3 and the team makes the playoffs run happen and promotes, and then putting all that emotion, seeing the chat go wild and stuff like this is really something that also made me emotional in this moment.
Okay. And what made you decide on Kenji going to Prime League instead of, I don't know, maybe the Swiss the Swiss esports scene or another region, you know? Like why Prime League specifically?
Um, it's pretty simple. The Swiss league is not pretty interesting, and you need to play in the Swiss league at least 3 Swiss players in the team. The league scene is pretty small. We basically got like 2 or 3 bigger or good teams. It's My Insanity, Fragbox Gaming, and Plastic, I guess. Or yeah, I don't know. But yeah, not that much. And it's not such interesting. And also esports is in Switzerland not such big like in Germany or in Austria. But um for me it was pretty sure I just like the format and how Prime League works, and I like the tournament. Um Also it is the DACH region, so you got Austria, Germany, and Switzerland in it. Um and was for me pretty clear that I want to compete in this tournament. Why not another region or country? I just can't be honest. I didn't knew any other tournaments, and it was like not interesting for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's something that comes a lot in people's mouth. It's like the Prime League format is really great. Like if you're good, you're gonna climb, and if you're not, you're gonna climb as well, but slower, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are Kenji's goals for the future? Like for this year specifically, and then for the longer term?
Um, for this year, I can tell for the teams. Um, yeah, you know the answer now. Promoting to Division 2 and to Division 3 with the academy team. And also for Valorant to promote and for our Rainbow team to win the tournament. Um, for the organization, we are building up a lot right now. We are working on or still working to to specify more our rebrand, to building it up more, and also yeah trying to look for great options for partners, maybe for sponsors, um, and getting more professional in a higher level. Yeah, I would say this is our goal for this year.
And that's a great transition because my next question was planned to be how hard is it for you to make yourself a name when you started? Like how hard was it and how hard is it to transition to semi-professional levels of playing and having salaries, I guess? Like how hard
Um,
do you think it is?
well, to make yourself a name, I would say in the beginning is pretty hard because you can do a lot false with a brand, with your um, yeah, how you work on Twitter, on the social medias, and how you work with people. Because especially in the beginning, normally I would say, yeah, do it right and don't do it wrong. So just try to act as professional as possible,
Mhm.
also in the beginning, with yeah, with the options you have. But it's pretty hard because organizations are growing out of the ground like, yeah, I don't know.
I think you also have to have something that like makes you special, especially if you come as a new organization into the game, because just in Division 4, they are like around, let me guess, 100 teams or even more. And if you want to be standing out in some way, you have to have something that makes you special. If it's a player that has a lot of reach, if it's you design an art, if it's maybe the cast style you just have to have some unique selling point, I would say, that makes you special and um, makes you have a difference from the others.
Yeah, I would say it's like, yeah, when you want to become a singer, yeah, a million others want to. And it's the same with the organizations. If you want to become a special organization, you need to be special or at least have something special. Yeah, like Arminovic said, because otherwise you won't have a chance. Um, and how hard is it to get the next step to be professional? I would say the more you grow and the bigger you get and the higher leagues you play, the more money or sponsors or partners will become important because but there is also the point, how are you paying for partners or sponsors? You're paying with impressions and with your social media um, stuff. So you need to be active there. And for a lot of other organizations, this is pretty hard because they are not so active on Twitter or on social medias. They haven't streams and they can't offer a lot for a sponsor or a partner to be interesting. Um, and for that, we also working everywhere where we can to be active to on the social medias, to support our players, to support our teams, to show our name everywhere we can. And yeah, but it's pretty hard. And even if you are big in social medias and have a lot of impressions, even then it is not that simple to um, find a partner or a sponsor who's willing to sponsor you.
Yeah. Maybe an honorable question at this point when you're also talking about social media and put a lot of work in it. I'd also like to mention the amazing work that our social media manager does, Acrylic, also known as Laura. Um, has a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills in terms of social media and is really doing a great job there, helping us also to expand as an organization and have a great like visual to the outside world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
without her,
that's definitely very important.
yeah, without her, Kanji would not be that big on social medias. So it's really, really important to have a good social media person behind the organization, and yeah, we can be really happy with her. It's
Yeah.
a really good point.
Yeah, it's people that you don't usually see, but it's extremely important. So yeah, shout out to her.
Yep.
Besides the Prime League bubble and the other games bubble, are you involved with other esports scenes? Like, do you watch esports regularly to stay up to date, or is it something that you just watch on the side and just more like for entertainment purposes, or do you just treat it as part of the job?
Well, I'm actually started to watch the streams of our Rainbow Six team. I still don't understand what's happening, but I'm always just watching the score, and for me, it is okay they're winning or not. But it's really interesting to see it, and I also watching the LEC.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, as a caster, you most likely have to be up to date on what's happening in professional leagues. So I'm regularly watching the LEC or right now MSI to see what are champions being played, what are team comps, what are. Also, you learn a lot from just listening to the casters and see how they describe and cast in certain situations. So that's a big part for me as well. And what I else do is, for example, I started playing Valorant now to also get a idea of this games if we are going to expand and stream in terms of Valorant. So I also have an idea how this game works. But I will have to as well look into professional Valorant play at some point. I just haven't had the motivation to do it yet.
I can understand that. And yeah, what do you think of the current League of Legends meta in terms of viewer experience?
Do you want to start on the point or shall I?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. I think right now for like at least half a year, maybe even more, we had the same boring slow game scaling style. If it's Zeri, if it's Jinx, if Riot hasn't done a lot to change the meaning of the game. You basically have bot, better bot lane wins, top hasn't a big impact. So I think it's great that they're going to change a lot in the next upcoming patch, also with waves arriving at the same time, every lane, and basically buffing a lot of items, especially for assassins and ADCs. That might shift the meta heavily, and I think it's really much needed in League of Legends because the game was getting kind of the same, and I think also LEC, like in the pre-show, memed that the only 5 ADCs that were picked were it's all the same basically every game. And most likely when you watch the game, you can also predict what the draft is going to be because it's like the only 20 or 30 champions that are being in a circle every time. Except if you're named G2, then you pick Kha'Zix or Nautilus mids. But G2 is an exception for that, we really have to say. Every other game feels like, yeah, mostly the same. For me, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I just hate tanks on top lane, split pushing all the time. Like Sion, Malphite, or stuff like that. And yeah, I hate Jinx. Not you, but the the champion. Um, and yeah, it's kind of the same for a long time now, and I'm excited for the big changes now overcoming with the items, and I guess for the ADCs it will be pretty interesting for Vayne, the Rage Blade change and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean I'm a Zyra OGP. What can I say right now? Just playing my Zyra and yeah, that's my point.
Okay, we go back to the job side of all of this. If you had to give a tip to someone that wants to start an esports structure, or someone that wants to become a caster or something like that, what would you say to them? What is your biggest tip for newcomers in the scene?
Um, I'd say think before you act and take your time, and then do a good concept and try to get a line with the designs, with the organization and how you want to work, and get the right people. Don't try to do everything alone, because if I would be alone, I wouldn't have a chance. So that's my tip.
Okay.
Yeah. I would also go with the concept, like have a concept before you start, because having an idea and like at least a path you want to go along is always better than just jumping in the cold water and maybe like doing the first two steps and then not having an idea how to go on with step three. So have a plan how you want to approach it in general when you want to become a new or make a new organization in esport. And for casters especially, it's mostly about practice. It's about feedback. And I can also say sometimes feedback might hurt, might be hard to hear that you're doing something really shitty, but only through feedback you can improve and learn new things and see your mistakes. So you have to be open for that. And maybe you would sleep 1 or 2 nights badly. Was my case too. But without criticism, you can't improve as a caster. So that's one of the biggest parts in it. And it's just really work, learn to use your voice, learn to explain what's happening in the game. And also, what really helped me is don't just listen to the cast when you, for example, watching LEC, but really listen to how and what the casters say. For me, for example, as a play-by-play caster, let's compare in a quick way Dracos and Medic each other. And what Dracos, for example, does to create hype and really get you dragged into the game is he gets faster. He has such a good way in speaking very fast, and when he picks up the pace, something is happening, and he's really good at being very specific, fast, and detailed, and speaking very clearly at the same time. So that's his moment to generate hype. And as an example, or as a comparison, what Medic does, he really has a strong voice which he uses. He's not going into such a fast way as Dracos does, but he's really using his voice, being energetic and like screaming and shouting at you, and it gives you goosebumps. But as a normal watcher, you don't really um, realize that as long as you don't listen and look to it specifically. So take a deeper look into the stuff and learn from the professionals. And then at the next step is find your own way. Are you the guy who goes the speedy way? Are you the guy that has a strong voice? And in the end, create your own style of casting, which makes you your own caster. Yes.
Okay, that's pretty much everything, to be fair. Like that's something that I noticed as well. So yeah, that's really good. Is there any subject you'd like to talk about? Bits of exclusive information, maybe, for the future, or anything, basically, before we wrap it up?
Oh, I can say one thing, and it is that the new casts for the upcoming split are going to look amazing and going to be amazing. So be prepared for that one. Everyone who's watching, it's the visuals that are in my head right now are already looking amazing. I think when I put it to paper, it's going to be even more amazing. So I can't wait for the split to start. And I think also Kloud would agree with me. Um, the teams are really pumped and ready to go crazy the split.
Yeah, sure. And I can also say we will always try to improve the organization of the teams, to top ourselves, because biggest enemy are, yeah, ourselves.
Selves.
So we want to show everyone that we always can do better. And I guess this is what I can say. It's not a league or something, but yeah, it's a motivation.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on keep an eye on that, on the streams, on the next big split, the next tournaments. And yeah, that's pretty much it for us. Pretty much it for us today. It's been a pleasure having you here, guys.
Thanks for having us as well.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
joining, and good luck for the future and the incoming splits.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you
luck
very
to you
much.
too.
Good luck to you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.